What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from the Scalar Learning channel. And today we are doing something really cool, which is more applying for it, of course, with more SAT math prep. But in particular, we are knocking out this March SAT from 2020. So that was the last official SAT that has been given this year. And I think about like half the people were able to take it. Half of them, especially a lot of my students in LA, it all got canceled. But this is it. This is the most recent one, so it's going to be a really, really important one, especially to get a gauge on what they're testing and what the most recent version looks like. So I'm really excited to have this and to be able to share it with you guys. So what we're going to do is, if you are new to the channel, I'm taking this for the first time in real time. I haven't looked at it at all, literally. I got it, but I haven't even looked at it. So I'm excited to kind of check it out. This is the no calculator section, so we only have a timer, and we're just going to roll through it. I'm going to solve it and explain it best I can in real time, and then at the end, if time permitting, I'm going to take some questions. All right, we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. The table above shows some values of x and their corresponding values of y. Which of the following equations shows a possible relationship between x and y? So it looks like it's plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. Boom, done. In the figure shown, line J is parallel to line K. I always add the parallel marks, right? And line J is parallel to line K. And line L is parallel to line M. So we'll do double marks if you remember geometry, right? What is the value of x? All right, so we got a transversal, so let's kind of figure this out. This is 80, which means this up here is also 80, right? Because these two lines are parallel to transversal, so that's 80 degrees. That's helpful. If this is 40, this angle up here is also 40 degrees, because again, it's a corresponding angle, right? Parallel lines. Well, hold on. This is also 80 because it's vertical, and let me just make sure. I know that definitely looks like 40. Am I getting that right? Yeah. Because it's like a transversal. It's like these two are parallel and these two are parallel, so those are both going to be 40. And then this whole thing has to be 180. Oh, never mind. X is 40 because it's a vertical angle with 40. So that's that. All right. Good to go. Number 3. The function of f is defined by this. What is the value of f of 4? Plug and chug. Boom. 4 goes in here and here. So it's 4 squared is 16 minus 5 times 4, which is 20, plus 6. That's negative 4 plus 6 is positive 2. Boom. Done. Nice. That's just a little function notation. Next, we got Erasely can spend up to a total of $20 in streamers and balloons for a party. Streamers, so he can spend $20. So streamers cost $1.49 per pack. And I already noticed they're using S right there for streamers. And balloons cost $4.39 per pack. Which of the following inequalities represents a situation where S is the number of streamers and pieces? And they can buy, just adding the two. So why are they subtracting here? Shouldn't be subtracting. 149S plus 439B must be less than or equal to 20 because we can spend up to $20, and that's it. Don't have to solve. Bill is planning to drive 1,000 miles to visit his family. If he plans to drive 250 miles per day, n days, so 250 times n number of days, which of the following represents the distance d in miles that he will have to drive to reach his family after driving for n days? So you could start by saying it's 250 n equals 1,000. Wait, what am I saying here? Sorry. Got it. So D is the remaining distance. 1,000 minus 250 n equals the distance remaining because he got 1,000 to drive, 250, etc. They got the D on this side, but it's 1,000 minus 250 n right there. And this makes sense, right? You drive for 2 days, you got 500 left. 3 days, you got 250 left, and it makes perfect sense. Which of the following is equivalent to the given expression? So again, I'm going to just get rid of the parentheses. They're not doing anything, right? X squared minus x. These guys cancel. Positive x and negative x. It's x cubed plus x squared. Let me just make sure I didn't rush that. Yeah, it's good. We just want to be careful. Sometimes it seems too easy because now we're getting up to 6, right? 7. So the difficulty should increase. The table below gives some value of x and corresponding values of f of x for the polynomial function f. Which of the following could be the graph of f in the xy plane where y equals f of x? All right. Let's look for notable values. So I know when x equals 0, y should equal 2. That one looks okay there. That one looks okay there. Let's see if we can eliminate any from that y-intercept of 2. Yep, this one. Right? Because that's hitting it at 0. And that one. So y-intercept is cool. What about 230? So this is 2. Oh, that's too high up. Let's do 1, 7. That looks about right. This looks off from 1, 7. Hold on, let's see if we can find a better value. -2, -2. This is out. Because -2 should be right there. -2, -2. This is out. It's got to be D. Let's hope I didn't rush to judgment. -2, -2. Boom, it hits it. 1, 7. 1, 7. That looks good. 230 is probably right, but we can't see. And then -1, 3. -1, 3. Boom. D is our answer. Looking good. Number 8. All right. Guess what? That just cancels out with one of them. It just becomes 1 over x plus 2. Straight up, no questions. And why did they put this little condition, if you're wondering? It's just to eliminate the idea that the denominator could be 0. So we don't want to ever divide by 0. And if we do, it kind of throws things off. So they're just giving you that. You don't have to think about it too much. But let me just make sure. This is feeling like an easy no calculator section. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm not going too hastily. Which of the following is an equation of the line xy plane contains those 2 points? All right. Let's do point slope. So first, I'm going to calculate the slope by stacking the coordinates and subtracting down. 3 minus 15 is -12 over 1 minus 5, which is -4. So it's a slope of 3. It's got to be this one. Only one with the slope of 3. But let's be precautious here. Let's do point slope. Y minus 3 equals 3 times x minus 1. Distribute. 3x minus 3 equals y minus 3. Cancel, and it's good to go. So we know that was the right answer. Number 10, in the given equation, b is a constant. If the equation has infinitely many solutions, aka left and right side should be equivalent if it has infinitely many solutions. Here's what we do. First, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Okay, this is just my natural instinct. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2, and I get 4x plus b on the left side equals 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 8 is 16. So infinitely many solutions means both of these have to be the same. So these are the same already, which means b has to equal 16. And that's it. B equals 16. Any value of x will make this true. Again, infinitely many solutions. 11. Oh, by the way, if they said no solutions, then b wouldn't be anything other than 16, and then it would be an impossible equation to solve. All right, 11. What is the area of the figure? Okay, so the formula is 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times the height. But I can multiply this first to make it easier. So it's 2 times 11, which is 22. And that's pretty much all it is. Trapezoid, area of a trapezoid. What is the y-intercept of the graph here? Okay, y-intercept occurs when x equals 0. Actually, this is the only viable option. It's such a weird test. Because you have to plug 0 in, because, right, it's on this axis. There's the y-intercept. So, of course, it's 0, 1. This is a strange one. What is the sum of the solutions to the given equation? All right, let's just set everything equal to 0 and factor and all that. So subtract 2x, so it's x squared minus 16x minus 1 plus 39 equals 0. Now I'm going to factor. You can already see what multiplies to 39 and adds to -16. That's -3 and -13. We got solutions of 3 and 13, and the sum of these guys is positive 16. If we want to double check it, let's do it mentally. 9 minus 42 is -33, so we get 7 on this side. 6 plus 1 is 7, so the 3 is good. 13 is 169. 13 squared minus 14 times 13 is just -13, so we get 27. And then 26 plus 1 is 27. So just verified that those solutions are good. Last two before we get to the free response. When the speed of an object approaches the speed of light, its length as seen by observers changes. When the object is stationary relative to the observer, its length as is moving. Ignore. This is a isolating quantities question. They're isolating V. I was like, I think this is isolating quantities. So first, let's divide by S equals square root of 1 minus V squared over C squared. Then I'm going to square both sides and get rid of the square root. 1 minus, what am I trying to isolate? V. 1 minus V squared over C squared equals that. I'm not going to rewrite it. Then we'll subtract 1 from both sides. So I'm going to flip it now. L squared minus S squared, L squared over S squared minus 1 equals, let's make it V squared over negative C squared. Let's get it like that. Hold on. Then I'm going to multiply both sides by C squared, negative C squared. So I get V squared equals negative C squared times L squared over S squared minus 1. And then I square root both sides. But that negative, okay, so they distributed the negative inside, and so they made it 1 minus L squared over S squared, and we're still taking the square root of that, but the C squared then comes out as C, so it should be this, C times, it's A. All right, there we go. That was it. For isolating quantities, I mean, look, they're actually very straightforward, but that was a pretty hard one, just keeping track of everything. And the half-life of a certain substance in an aquatic environment is about 150 years. Which of the following exponential functions, I always underline the numbers, best models the amount in grams of substance T years after 200 grams, so which means we're starting with 200 grams, is applied to the aquatic environment. So 200 is A and B are out because the 200 grams is the starting value, should always be here. So it shouldn't be 150. So now I already got a 50-50 chance. That's amazing. And then it says it's in every 150 years we lose half of it. Now, it's actually going to be D, even though C seems to make sense, and I'm going to show you why. The best way to check this is to be like, all right, well, look, the one thing that I know is if it's a half-life is 150 years, in 150 years, meaning when I plug 150 in for T, I should get 100 left. If I plug in 150 here, I get 150 times 150, 1/2 to the, I mean, it gets so small. Here, if I plug in 150, this whole exponent becomes 1. 1/2 to the first power is 1/2 times 200 is 100. It works. Okay. Now we get to 16. The graph of y equals, and look at how nice we're doing on time. 5 questions left and 13 minutes. Graph of y equals m, and now the difficulty is going to drop again, right? The graph of y equals mx plus b, where m and b are constants, is shown in the xy plane. What's the value of m, aka slope? +2, +1, 2 over 1. Boom, done. That's it. They're just asking what's the slope of the line. Up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. If xy is the solution to the given system of equations, what is the value of y, aka solve the system? And I'm going to use, let's go with elimination. X plus y equals 5. 2x equals 5. I'm going to multiply the top by -2, and I get -2x minus 2y equals -10, right? Yeah. These cancel out. I get -2y equals -10 plus 5 is -5 divided by -2. And I get positive. Those negatives cancel out. Positive 5 over 2. I'm just going to double check and make sure that that's right. Oh, I already know that. Oh, actually, this was so much easier with substitution. I didn't even think about it because x is just 2.5. So, of course, y is 2.5. But whatever. So you can enter 5/2 or 2.5. Both will be valid. That's funny. Number 18. What positive value of x satisfies the equation above? 3. Right? +3, -1. Those are the two solutions, but 3 is the positive one. And that's it. And we only have positive answers for the free response, so don't forget that. It's a helpful tip. What value of x satisfies this? Add 0.6 to both sides. 3x equals 2.4. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. X equals 0.8. All right. Done. And last but not least, a square, number 20, and we got 11 minutes. So a square is inscribed in a circle. So let's draw this out. Always draw it out if you can. The square is inscribed in a circle. Let's see if I can get it looking pretty good. Okay, it looks like a rectangle, but whatever. With a radius of 6 root 2. Immediately I'm thinking, hey, let's connect the corners. That gives me a diameter. It's not the radius, but that's okay. If the radius is 6 root 2, this is 12 root 2 because this is my diameter. What is the perimeter of the square? This is actually perfect, everything that I've done, because this is, if it's a square, right? These are all 90 degrees, and that's perfectly cut in half. This becomes a 45, 45, 90, which means if this is the hypotenuse of 12 root 2, these sides are 12 and 12. So all the sides are 12. What's the perimeter of the square? 12 times 4, 48. Let me just make sure I didn't make any mistakes. So 6 root 2. So it's 12 root 2. Yeah. All right. Let's stop the timer and see how we did. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. All right, all right, all right. Hopefully I did not make any silly mistakes, but we shall see. Hold on. No calc. All right. So we got AA, BB, D. AA, BB, D. CD, B, CD, B, A, D. C, D, B, A, D. B, C, D, A, D. B, C, D, A, D. Then I got 2, 5 over 2, 0.8, or the, oh, shoot, 3, sorry. 3.8 and 48. Yeah! All right, nailed it. All right, I didn't want to say this until I'd finish it because you never know. What if I got something wrong? That'd be embarrassing. But I gotta say, like, that's by far the easiest no calculator section I've ever seen, hands down. Like, that was crazy. Tell me if you agree. Did you get this from? I cannot disclose. No, somebody sent it to me. One of my subscribers. This is actually the test I took in March. Yeah. For 13, there is a formula I learned that if you do, yeah, you're definitely right. Chris, you can do this formula of negative b over a gives you the sum of the solutions. That's a great shortcut, by the way. Dr. John Chung is super, super difficult. It's way harder than the SAT. It's good if you want extra practice and you really want to cut your teeth, but I don't think it's the best. Also, I don't think they actually updated their book post 2016 when the whole SAT was redesigned, so it gets a negative strike on me from that. But I just got that Pawn the SAT or PWN Own the SAT book. I'm excited that comes next week. That's been highly recommended. And then the College Panda, I've been a huge fan of College Panda, and so have my students. Outside of the College Board, I think the best book is College Panda. I really do. Okay, hold on. I'm not mistaken, as a playlist of it. Yeah, I do. I have a playlist of the Dr. Chung's. Number 20. Yeah, Richard, you're right. Richard Ortega. It's the 45, 45, 90 rule. So if you remember 45, 45, 90 triangles, okay, the sides are x, x, and the hypotenuse is x root 2. So I knew that hypotenuse, since it was 12 root 2, the other sides had to be 12. Okay, but why do I say it's easy? Look, relative, and by no means is this an easy test. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is easy or blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not easy. You know, the SAT is a hard test. I'm saying relative to the difficulty of other SATs that I've taken, other practice tests and things like that, this was the easiest no calculator in terms of, like, this really was shocking, right? Like this one was like 16, 17, 18, and 19. I think you could do all of those if I wasn't talking. I could have probably done all those in about a minute total. Like, I've never seen that. 20 was hard, right? And then and I thought 15 and 14 were hard. And this one was a good amount of work. But and this one was like, it was just, they didn't even give any other possible realistic y-intercepts. Like, you should know y-intercept 0 has to be the x value. So anyways, I just didn't understand. It just seemed a little off to me. Yeah, I know. That's too bad if it got canceled. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in August. I have no idea. I kind of hope it's hard, because usually then it's a more generous curve. Tyro, your question about skipping around depends on your weak areas. Take a practice test, figure out the things that you need work on, and then I would. That's what I do with all my students. I don't just say start from the beginning to the end. You know, treat it like you're a doctor and you're getting a diagnosis based on the diagnostic, and then adjust. All right, guys, this was awesome. We're going to probably do the next, the calculator section tomorrow. If you did like the video, please give me a like. That really helps the channel a lot. And if you want to see more from the Scalar Learning channel, make sure to click subscribe. And like I said, I'll be back tomorrow to finish the calculator section. As soon as I know when, I'll throw up the time so you guys can, hopefully more people can join and participate in all that. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I will see you in the next video. Take it easy.